chemical and physical explanation of why water is wet, why it clings, in other words, is because it has within it particles, ions, and the molecules of water itself, which have a magnetic charge. They have an electrical charge. They have a plus and a minus. The hydroxyl ions, the oxygen and hydrogen, are negative, and the hydrogen is positive, and the molecules of water itself have a polarized charge on each end, and rather like small magnets, they cling to us, they cling to other objects, they cling to things when we touch them. And when they cling, we say we're wet. And so that is why water is wet.
Well, my view is that when we ask, is water wet, we are not asking about the water. It's a kind of verbal shorthand whereby we talk about our own experience of water. So water is not wet. Water is wet is describing our contact with water in the same way that if I speak of you as being a kind man, I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about an innate quality. I'm talking about my experience of you. And that's all we can speak about. Of course, our experience relates to other people's experiences. We are in human bodies in the same world. But that doesn't mean I can have other people's experience or that I can talk about water as if I knew it independently of my own perception of it and my own experience of it.
We're talking about really an experience that everybody has, everybody in the world has. We all know what water is.
Well, I haven't met everybody in the world, so I would prefer...
The fact that I've not met everybody in the world as well, but we can make certain guidelines that it's common understanding that there is such a thing as water and that it wets, whatever that means. And I'd like to suggest that water wets because it clings. It clings in a way like this. You put your hand in there, lift it up, and there's water attached to it.
Yes, but you're just replacing one word with another. You're trying to explain wet by the term clingingness, or the quality of clingingness. So all you're doing is replacing one word with another. It doesn't get you any nearer.
Well, it's something which wet doesn't say. If it actually enlarges on the meaning of it, it gives a clearer definition of what we
but you see, you still have to experience
the cleanliness.
So we're going back to
the importance
of the experience of water to create wetness.
So what do you mean then? That in fact, water doesn't wet at all? Are you saying water doesn't wet at all?
We're talking about whether water is wet, not whether it does wet.
Now, one of the